I'm Erica Armstrong Dunbar, and I am a professor and a writer, a historian, a storyteller.
My name is Franny Smith, Frances, and Erica is my goddaughter. So I've known her since the time she was born up until today. But our connections with Germantown really began when she came here to Germantown French School.
I was fortunate to get to go to school with history all around me, with the President Washington's summer house literally almost next door. I do look at my years as a student, a community member of Germantown, as really sort of ground zero for my journey.
I am known as Pat Bass. I was a school nurse, but everybody knew me, and I was a familiar face. First of all, I looked like her, and her mom was a nurse. So there were many connections, I think, that probably made it a comfortable place for Erica. She frequently had a reason to come by and see me in my office. Not because she was sick, it was just because it was probably fun to come and see me. You couldn't forget Erica. I mean, even when she was younger, you couldn't forget her. She was always inquisitive. I'm not surprised that she pursued a life of writing and history.
Erica's always been a scholar, from tiny on. She loves reading, she loves research. But I think there's something inherent in Erica that it's like a magic almost, in my opinion, because she always has sought to speak the truth.
I get to spend my days reading, writing, and talking about Black people. And that fills me with joy.
But I do know she's very active. She's very involved. And all for a cause. I mean, it's all stuff that she's really interested in. Her cause, her journey.
I'm the Charles and Mary Beard Distinguished Professor of History at Rutgers University in New Brunswick. The other part of my sort of academic career is that I serve as the National Director for the Association of Black Women Historians. When we think about the field of American history in particular, that it's incomplete without the stories of Black women. And when we look at the field in general, the cutting edge work is coming from Black women historians and those who focus on the lives of Black women.
For so very long, we've been silenced and we've been ignored as Black women, historically and even contemporarily. So why not have this young icon writer begin to focus on that?
I was finishing up my first book, A Fragile Freedom, which asks us to think about the lives of enslaved and free women who lived in Philadelphia. Growing up, I felt like I knew a lot, or maybe not a lot. I knew something about enslaved women in the South. But I knew very little about slavery in the North. And so I wanted to sort of track and trace everyday events in the late 18th century. And the way that historians do that is we look at primary sources, we look at documents, we look at newspapers. I came across an advertisement for a runaway. The language in the advertisement read something like, absconded from the household of the President of the United States. That's George Washington. Who is George Washington advertising for? Who's run away? And there she was. Her name, Oni Judge. How can it be that I'm a Philadelphian, that I'm an expert in African American women's history, and I don't know this story? What happened to her? Did the Washingtons find her? What did the end look like for her? That time in the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, looking through newspapers, led me on a 10-year journey to uncover the life of one of the most incredible women I've ever encountered in the archives.
She doesn't just want those that she's, people in her PhD level to read. She wants the people who are on the street in Germantown or the street of North Philadelphia or wherever to read her stuff and say, oh, this makes sense. This is about who I am, who we are.
To watch her grow this way, she doesn't stop. She's done this, I've achieved this. Let's see what else I can do. Where else can I go? Which way can I go to help keep enlightening people about what it is that we need to learn about.
I'm so proud. I'm so happy that she's being recognized. I'm just so proud of who she is and who she will continue to be.
I don't think anything could make me love Germantown more than I already do. So being inducted into the Hall of Fame it's an honor, but it feels like coming home.